do. Waking up to something. I don't even know my own intro. I think it's Making Up for Teenage Dreams. I don't know the words. I should probably learn the words. Whatever. Here's the real intro.
Making up for teenage cry.
Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, subscribe. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So, today's video is going to be on the unanswered questions of episode. So, the things that aren't written about in the forums and not many people talk about, and the stuff that I really wish I was told when I first started episode. So, yeah, hopefully there's some of you writers out there that have been asking yourself the same questions, and now you will have the answers if you watch to the end of the video. I'm getting really pale again. Not that there's anything against pale people. I am one. I just don't like being pale. I guess it suits my ginger hair though. So, the first unanswered question there is how many choices should you write per chapter? So, as a standard, I say 3. So obviously it depends on your chapter length and so on and so forth, but I usually go for around 3 choices per chapter, and they don't have to significantly affect the story. So it can be like, okay, your mum asks what you want for breakfast, and you can pick between like pancakes, coffee, or oatmeal, something like that. Something just like fun where you can put your personal taste into it. And then have another one, maybe the mean girl's being a bitch to you, and you can respond with sass or respond with class, and then you come up with a couple of either classy or sassy choices, options, phrases. And then perhaps you can be lost trying to find your class, and you can choose to go left or right, or you see some drama going on, you can choose to intervene or not intervene. So they don't necessarily have to be huge choices, but it's called episode interactive choose your story. So there has to be an element of choice, and that's what makes elephant different. That's what makes episode different to other story apps. So yeah, don't forget to add choices in. I'd say about 3 choices. Look, my makeup's on because I've worn it all day. Gross. No, I slipped. Yeah, 3 choices per chapter. Next, unanswered question. How long should my chapters be? So, I have like weird numbers in my head, like weird amount of lines that I stick to. So, I like to add a recap, hair customization, lipstick customization, and outfit choices in most of my chapters, and they alone take up loads of lines, probably like 1,500 lines. So what I do is write my outline of my chapter, like what I want to be where. If you have seen any of my previous videos, when I'm in the portal, I use like a hashtag it. So it's like a note, and then I write roughly what I want to write in the scene before I do the hard copy. I leave out the recap, the hair, usually the outfits, and the makeup until the very end, so I can see how my lines are working. And I aim for about 1,000 lines of dialogue and directing. Simple directing, not complex directing. So like for the background, the transitions, the cuts, I aim to go for about 1,000 lines. And then all in all, when I've got hair, outfit customization, and a recap of the previous chapter, it usually works out about 2,500 lines. So that's how many lines it should be. I mean, not it should be. Some people write super long chapters, some people have loads of branching. So if your story is like 8,000 lines per chapter, don't worry about it, because it still might be great. Just like the length doesn't necessarily determine how great it is, but I definitely wouldn't recommend going under 1,000 lines, ever. If you're wondering why I'm no longer drinking out of monster cans, it's because I've been buying the big ones, and they don't have a place to put a straw in, and I'm not going to drink out of a can like some kind of monster. See what I did there? Next, unanswered question. How important is it to customize characters, and should I add customization into my story? To be honest, I think it's very important. Some people, like, it doesn't mean you have to have it in your story, but I think it's important to have character customization, because episode isn't just a story, it's a game where people like to play as themselves. And even though you're playing as another character, you know, like in Red Dead Redemption, you play as Arthur Morgan, and obviously I'm not a guy and I can't change his name or anything, but you can like choose his hairstyle and choose his beard and choose his outfits, and it's super fun. So even though you know you're not playing as yourself, it's still nice to like customize your character and make them your own. If that makes sense. Also, if we compare with like how successful my stories have been in the past, I've only had one story where you can't customize your characters. Yeah, just the one. Meet the Bloggers, and it's like literally my most poor performing story ever. Shall we see how many reads it's got? It was the second story. I don't know why I can't speak today. It was the second. Okay, my phone died, but we're back. Okay, yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, Meet the Bloggers has had 12,000 reads in a year and a half, and you can't customize your characters. Becoming Queen Bee has had like 100,000 reads in a day before. So yeah. How important is music and sound? So about half the stories I read have sound in, and about half don't. I don't think it really is a make or break. Like, I don't think it's super important to have sound, but it's not too hard to add. I will make a video on how to add sound. But yeah, it's not too hard to add sound into your stories, like sound and music. So you can add it if you want, if you think it's going to add something to your story. But like sometimes, especially when I'm like deep in the episode obsession, I'll be reading stories everywhere I am. So sometimes I won't be able to listen to the music because I'll be like on the train or whatever. I won't have headphones with me, and sometimes I will. So even stories with sound, sometimes I won't listen to the sound. So it's not the be all and end all, so you don't need to worry too much about the sound. Okay, the final question that's unanswered for episode is, how hard is it to learn how to do it? It's hard AF, mate. It is really difficult. Like, I'm just being realistic. It's hard work to learn. You have to be dedicated. Like, it's not just something you can like pick up and learn straight away. It's not just like writing a normal story. Like the coding, I still learn new things every time I write, and that's a bit of an exaggeration. But like, I probably learn a new thing about episode every week. In like how to direct, and it gets more complex as I go along, and they're always adding new things as well, so it is incredibly hard to learn at the beginning. Well, it was for me, and then to maintain up to date. Like, even the stuff like now, they have like tappable overlays, and like I still struggle with like the point system, because you can like, people can make choices and then they gain points or lose points, and then the points that they gained or lose depends on like future scenes I'll say. That kind of stuff confuses the life out of me. Like, it's really difficult. So sadly, yes, it's hard to learn, but once you've got it, you've got it. It's kind of like, it's literally like a second language. So if you're good at learning languages, maybe you're good. Or like if you know like HTML or any kind of coding, it might be easier for you. But yeah, it was definitely new for me, and it was hard for me, and I'm still learning, and it's been like 2 years and I'm still learning, but it's worth it. In my opinion, it's worth it. I'm literally the most distracted person in the whole world. Someone left a YouTube comment the other day saying like, oh, you should make a video on how not to get distracted. And I'm like, I get distracted all the time. I wish I could make a video on how not to get distracted, but I would get distracted while I was making it. Okay, well, short video today, but I think I have covered everything I wanted to cover. If you have any questions, as always, comment them down below and I will reply. Or cover them in a video. I don't know why anyone watches my video, but thank you for watching it anyway. You guys that wait till the end of this video, you're the real MVPs. You're the most valuable episode, please.